Hi, I'm Dr. Zelania Allen, President of the National Entrepreneurs Association, and welcome to another edition of the NEA Wednesday Webinar series. This is our November episode, and today is going to be another great conversation with another dynamic entrepreneur. Spencer Cotton. Spencer Cotton is the founder of Cakes of Praise, a Chicago-based bakery that was established in August of 2018. The bakery offers a variety of custom desserts, including regular and deluxe cakes, brownies, and cupcakes, and can be found at cakesofpraise.llc.com. He is a graduate of the NEA Entrepreneur Bootcamp and Certification Program, Cohort 6. Hello and welcome, Spencer.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Allen, for having me.
Yes, thank you for joining me today. And today we're going to be talking about the power of preparation, how entrepreneurial training positions you for success. But before we get into that, can you tell us a little bit more about who you are and your company, Cakes of Praise? How did you get into baking?
Sure. I'll be happy to. I love telling my story. Like Dr. Allen said, my name is Spencer Cotton. I am the owner and founder of Cakes of Praise LLC, and I started the business in 2018. But before that, I actually started it in grad school. I was actually completing my master's program at Western Illinois University, and I was just looking for a side hustle. And cooking has always been an integral part of my family. So I said, well, let me try baking. None of my family were really strong bakers, but I had a love for like the math, the science, and putting them all together. So I decided to start my business off while I was in grad school, my first year as a side hustle. And I would just do it for classmates, professors, people's birthdays. And it started off as just a cake jar business. And so from there, people were really impressed by the quality of the desserts. And they were like, you should go full time with this, go forward with this after you finish school. And I put it on pause for to finish my studies and um, really just but the desire was still there. So upon graduating, it took me a while to actually get into my field, which was youth development and recreation. And so in that meantime, I said, you know what, I have this skill, let me pick it back up. And I kept doing the cake jars, but I expanded it to full cakes, cupcakes, cookies, and brownies. And it was some trial and error. We had some growth moments there, but I really found that light again when picked it back up a year later. And from there, I just decided to incorporate it as an LLC with the Secretary of State, getting everything in order, and yeah, that's how we started.
Wow, I got to tell you, you are making me hungry. And I love cake. I love a good cake. But so it started off as a side hustle, so a way for you to make extra money, and then people told you you were really good at it. So it sounds like you kept that in the back of your mind, and then as soon as you got the chance, you went back to it. Is that correct?
Yes, that is absolutely correct. And
All
I
right.
actually, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was actually going to say the first few years I actually had a dual career. So I was actually doing the cake business as well as working with youth doing youth programs. So, and I even had the chance to teach youth how to bake too. So it was a really great experience combining both careers together at one point in time too.
Yes, and you started your business around a challenging time because 2018, shortly after that, we went into a pandemic and everything shut down. And it was particularly difficult for food-based businesses. So, how did you make it through that tough period of just starting your business, just getting it off the ground, and then everything shuts down? And a lot of people went out of business during that time.
Yes, that's a great question. It was a very challenging time, and I had to really adapt to how I did business. I went from doing events and corporate events for which was a large source of where my revenue came from to everything was shut down. People weren't doing birthday parties, baby showers, anniversaries, and things of that nature. So what I actually did, I went back to my roots. And so what I did was I went back to more cake jars and individual desserts. That way, it was easier for consumers to consume the desserts, but also it helped with the social distancing. So I did deliveries for most of my customers, and I offered like social distancing, and the packaging allowed me to do that. So I had to pivot some ways with that, though. It was still a challenging time as far as going from that revenue where I seen big corporate events and things of that nature, but my customers are very understanding and they still did like cake jars, like full cakes and things of that nature for their gatherings inside their homes. So it was definitely a challenge, but I'm happy I was able to survive that and really keep my business afloat during COVID.
Yeah, so it sounds like you had a very loyal client base, which I want to get into that a little later because that's really important, developing a tribe of loyal customers. But I want to talk about training because this episode is all about preparation, and education and training. So you went through our 9-week entrepreneur boot camp and certification program, and you did an amazing job. Prior to that, did you have any training as an entrepreneur? Did you have a mentor or somebody that you looked up to? And what made you sign up for our boot camp?
Absolutely. That's a great question. So, actually, my undergraduate degree is in business management, and I had a minor in finance. But in my coursework, I actually took a couple of entrepreneurship classes as electives. And so I think, if I really look back, I think that was actually the seed where I learned what entrepreneurship was about, but I carried it into graduate school. And so from there, I felt that when I found NEA, I found that actually on Facebook, I was just really looking for extra training. We talked about like how preparation is the key to success. And that's one of my favorite quotes, like proper prevention prevents poor performance. And so I really was looking for an opportunity to gain some different skills. I found that, my undergraduate degree compared to where I was in my business, there was a gap, and I needed some more tools to remain up to date on current business trends and even network with other entrepreneurs. So that's what drew me to the NEA program and just being willing to learn. And honestly, I had different mentors across the span of my business, but I found that NEA was really, it laid like a new foundation for how to do business, not only from the financial aspect, but where's your mindset as an entrepreneur? So many times we as entrepreneurs we just go go go, and there's we're hustling trying to make sure that everything is presented well, but it's about taking care of your mindset and your body and really making sure that you are putting the best foot forward mentally to continue going. And from there, I just remember doing like all the different classes with my cohort, the marketing courses, the legal aspects of business, and things that I really enjoyed learning about. So it was just a great experience that catapulted me to where I am today as an entrepreneur.
Yes, and my next question was, what impact did the boot camp have on you and your business? And you've talked about a little bit of that. But as you know, I'm a psychologist. That's my background. So we start the boot camp with psychology and talking about the mindset of an entrepreneur, how you have to be confident and how you have to be strong. And if you're not, how do you develop that confidence and that strength? And how do you think like an entrepreneur? Because entrepreneurs are different. We think differently. We're creatives. We are outliers. We think outside of the box. And for some people, those things come naturally. So, talk a little bit about specifically how the boot camp and the training impacted your business to what you've grown to today.
Absolutely. So for me, I feel that the boot camp did a few things. Number one, like I stated earlier, I felt like it was the refreshing that I needed to really understand, like rebuilding the skill sets as an entrepreneur, learning about the legal aspect, the day-to-day accounting of business. So from that, I learned like more about, understanding like the profit and loss statement, the balance sheet, and how to present that to different funders or even banks to apply for cash flow. So those were things that I really honed in from the NEA bootcamp. I really also learned about marketing opportunities. Now, at the time, I believe when we did the boot camp, I think AI was just taking off, and so we were kind of like in the middle of transitioning from like different things like how AI has assisted businesses and entrepreneurs in that aspect. But I really learned like how to really schedule like marketing materials ahead of time so that you don't have to do that on a day-to-day basis and really automating that. So those were a few takeaways that I'm still working on and took away from the boot camp. And constantly incorporating new strategies that work best for me. I think that a lot of people understand that there's a lot of different trends out there, but it may not fit your actual business needs or your target market. So I think it really helped me develop the mindset to really just understand what's best for Cakes of Praise and how would it appeal to my customer base.
Awesome. Let's talk about the networking because you have some amazing entrepreneurs in cohort 6. The great Dr. Angela C. uh, Dr. Janet Little, who I am so happy that I still collaborate with both of them to this day. We did a conference in DC, Maryland area, and Dr. Little was on the panel. Dr. C heads our ambassador committee and comes to all of the fall conferences. So, can you just talk a little bit about some of the relationships or networking that came out of you being a part of NEA?
Absolutely. I would say there was a lot of relationships that I developed in the NEA program, and not just for Chicago. One of the beauties I think that NEA brings, we bring people all across the nation together to learn more about entrepreneurship. And one of the things I do want to highlight is even my accountability partner, Andrea Martin. We both are bakers. And so, she's based in Houston, Texas, and I'm based in Chicago. So even throughout the cohort, we had a lot of time to spend together, in our field and talk about like how do we strategize to reach a different target market or enhance our market. So that was one of the key things that I really gained from that experience. I love interacting with all the members of Cohort 6 and the other ones, but Cohort 6 is my favorite. Dr. Angela and I have a really good relationship as well, like talking about business and business health as well. So in just participating over the years, it's became a family. And that's what's really important, a entrepreneur family where we understand and celebrate the wins and support each other even in those challenging moments. So I know that if I reach out to one of my cohort members or even people in the NEA circle, we can brainstorm and think of new ideas, and troubleshoot and determine the best solution. So I really gained a lot of that from the networking experiences at NEA.
All right, great. And I see you at our fall conferences. Can you talk about why you attend those every year? What do you get out of that? I know we have a lot of different speakers and sessions going on, but what keeps you coming back?
I think that it's more of the value, not just with the connections or new connections that I can make with other people, but it's the topics at the conference, the different presentations that are available. I think they're very beneficial in entrepreneur, and they have been very beneficial for me personally. I'm all about lifelong learning and turning opportunities into wins. So I think that attending the conference has helped me not only develop stronger networking skills, but also just staying on top of what's changing. We're not at the same place as we were last year, so in business. So I find that, professional development is really important to grow your business, but also be aware of what's changing in the business realm. Laws change every year, taxes and finances change every year. So it's very important as an entrepreneur to be ahead of the game and prepare and learn about those changes and be with other people who may be experts in that area. One of the things from this recent conference in the fall of 2025 was collaboration. And from that, it's really important to collaborate with other people who may have a strong suit. You may have a strong suit, and you both can collaborate, and there could be a mutual win. So I really just enjoy attending the conferences, and it's just a breath of fresh air being able to be in that space. And I just love it. I love coming every year, and we'll continue to keep going.
Thank you. Awesome. Yeah, it's important to keep educating yourself because you just said it. Things are constantly changing. And we're really seeing that in technology with AI, with marketing. The laws continue to change. And so you have to prepare. I think a lot of times people have a passion around a particular area or an expertise in an industry and they go out and start a business, but they don't understand all all the aspects, the legal aspects, how to set up the business, how to even hire an employee and interact with an employee. Hiring employees is a lot, just in and of itself, and constantly having to report to the government what's going on. So, yes, I really wanted to get across with this episode the importance of continuing to educate yourself, even if you've been in business for a while. And a lot of the entrepreneurs who go through our cohort, they sit there every week and have these aha moments like, I didn't know this and I didn't know that, because we always say you don't know what you don't know. So, what advice would you give entrepreneurs, specifically around preparing and educating, especially someone who might feel, I don't need training, I know all this already?
Mm. Woo, that's a good question. Um, Ooh, that's a really good question because at one point in time I had that same philosophy and it was a switch that needed to happen, an immediate switch, not so much as reaction based, but it was just a moment where I knew it was like, okay, there's some things that I need to further develop and pivot. So let me find resources. And so I would say the most important thing for entrepreneurs is setting time every month to brainstorm and
Mhm.
also really looking at where you are in your business, not only with the financial aspect, but your marketing aspect. How is your relationship with your customers? Are you um, utilizing the best? Are you getting the best rates for your products to build your business if you're a product-based business? So shopping around to see if there's maybe like a sale or something that can help lower your overhead. Really taking that time to really build that strategy. And you can probably spread it out. Maybe one week you focus on the finance, one week you focus on your marketing, one week or you keeping a constant eye on like different trends with different product prices. Because I think what can happen is if you don't pay attention to that, it will catch up to you and not in a good way. And then that's when you become more reactive. You make different decisions that may not, that can really hurt your business because you're reacting to make sure that the problem, putting out the fire, so to say. And so I really think that if you take that time to really plan out your business monthly and reevaluating how you did in the previous month is really crucial to entrepreneur success. Because if you don't know where you're going, how can you plan ahead for the future? So that would be my advice is really taking that downtime every month and making it a block out time where nothing can really, if possible, we know in entrepreneurship our schedules change at the drop of a dime, but really taking that time to sit down and look at everything and really make the best decision. So that would be my advice.
Absolutely. That's great advice. I love what you said about brainstorming. We have a mastermind group here at NEA where entrepreneurs can meet once a month and brainstorm over challenges that they're having in their business. And it's always amazing how everyone has a different perspective. And when you talk to people, you get ideas that you didn't even think about. So that's so very important to be able to discuss what you're going through with people who understand entrepreneurship and are traveling that same path. So I mentioned at the top of the call customer loyalty. What do you do to gain the loyalty of your customers? And is it intentional or are you just good at customer service?
That's a great question. I would say that it has developed over the years. And so I've adapted it based off of how my customers' needs have adapted and changed as well. So one of the things that I always do is, especially when it comes to larger events, I always sit down and offer a consultation call with my clients, especially for those big milestone birthdays or a wedding or baby shower, a very important experience that my customer is looking for. So I offer that to all of my clients to really understand what their vision is and hearing them out and remain in constant communication throughout the process. And most of the times, my customers have said that that personal experience and that attention to detail brings them back. And so I think it's very important, even in the world of where technology and automation is taking over, and there's more website things that people order online. it really offers that personal touch and companion to really enhance the customer experience. And I also try to get to know my customers. I ask them like, hey, when is their birthday or when is their anniversary? And offering them maybe a coupon for to return, like say, hey, we had a great time last year preparing that event. Here's a 10% off or 15% off based off of the desserts and stuff. We value your business. So offering those key aspects have helped me like retain my customers. A lot of the baby showers I even did, and they said, okay, it's time to call Uncle Smith for your birthday cake this year. So one of my clients, I've actually made their birthday cakes from their first birthday all the way to their fifth birthday every year. And so it just goes to show that they really value that relationship building with me and returning it. So it's just one of the things I really enjoy doing as an entrepreneur is connecting with people and making their experience great. So.
Awesome. So research shows it's easier to retain a client than to have to go out and get a new one. So
Absolutely.
retention is very important. So we have to start to wrap up here. So can you tell people how to get in touch with you if they want to purchase a cake or visit your bakery, or how do we get in touch with you?
Sure. The best way to get in touch with me, you can reach me on any of my Facebook or Instagram platforms. It's Cakes of Praise. Simple as Cakes of Praise, Praise. I am getting more familiar with TikTok. A lot of people say that I should get into TikTok. I'm not fully there yet, but that is to come and in December and in 2026. So I'm really going to push to get that created. My website is also up and it's cakesofpraisellc.com. That way you can stay on top of the different offerings that we have. We offer like I said earlier in the beginning, we offer individual desserts, custom desserts. We also offer vegan desserts as well. So people with different dietary needs or with gluten-free options as well, we do offer that for our clients. And so those are the three best ways I would say to get in touch with me: Facebook, Instagram, or the website to connect with us. And we'd love to bring that to your vision to real life. And we also do ship. We do ship like the individual desserts. So our cake jars, cookies, brownies, all things that are more handheld, we're able to package them and ship them out anywhere across the nation. So yeah.
All right, that's great stuff. I want to conclude with this question. What keeps you going? What keeps you motivated? And maybe your strategy can help someone else who is having a challenge at this time.
That's a great question. What keeps me going? Well, I would say I always tie it to what was the vision that I first had when I started the company. And sometimes as an entrepreneur, and I'm even speaking for myself, there have been times where there have been challenged where I would say, like, I don't know if I want to keep doing this. Maybe I should just keep working full time. That's the honest truth. I've had those moments, but what I have to realize is it's important to embrace them, but continue to keep going. Because as entrepreneurs, it's important to really focus on your why. And my why is delivering an amazing experience when it comes to desserts. I know that I have a gift, and it's just continuing to build that and share that with people across the globe. So I definitely believe that it's important to remember your why, and even in those tough moments, you just keep going, and you just build upon it. So, um, Yeah, that's what I would say is the most important thing is just to keep going no matter what the obstacles are, just keep going and pushing forward.
That's beautiful, Spencer. Thank you for that. And I got to tell you, I hear from entrepreneurs all the time that they wonder, can I keep doing this? And think about quitting. And this one entrepreneur had me dying laughing because he said, I used to quit every day. Now I just quit once a month.
So true.
Yes. So I want to conclude with one of my favorite quotes that says, fail to prepare, prepare to fail. So our theme today was all about preparation. So I hope that we got that across to the audience. Continue to prepare, continue to educate yourself, and just persevere. And eventually you will get to your destination. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. And we'll see you next time on the Wednesday webinar.